The Heart Sutra begins by telling us that Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva was practicing deeply the perfection of wisdom. These words are important because they reveal that true wisdom does not arise from reading books, memorizing teachings, or discussing philosophy alone. Wisdom grows through deep and sincere practice. Just as a seed becomes a great tree only after receiving water, sunlight, and time, spiritual understanding develops through continuous cultivation. In this lesson, we will explore what it means to practice deeply and why depth of practice is essential for realizing the truth taught in the Heart Sutra. Many people can describe a path without ever walking it. A traveler may study maps of a mountain for years, but only by climbing it can they understand the steepness of the trails, the changing weather, and the beauty of the summit. In the same way, we may learn Buddhist teachings intellectually, yet still remain trapped by fear, anger, and attachment. Practice begins when teachings move from the page into daily life. When patience is tested by a difficult person, when generosity is required despite personal inconvenience, or when mindfulness is maintained during stress, the teachings become alive. Deep practice transforms knowledge into direct experience. Deep practice is not measured by how long one meditates or how many scriptures one can recite. It is measured by sincerity, consistency, and willingness to investigate reality. Imagine someone standing beside a lake. Looking at the surface reveals only reflections. Diving beneath the water reveals an entirely different world. Likewise, superficial practice remains on the surface of experience, while deep practice investigates the nature of thoughts, emotions, perceptions, and identity itself. Avalokiteshvara was not merely thinking about wisdom. He was fully immersed in understanding reality as it truly is. This level of commitment allowed profound insight to arise. Many people approach spiritual practice only when life becomes difficult. They meditate during stress, pray during hardship, and forget practice when circumstances improve. Such effort is helpful, but it rarely leads to deep transformation. Consider a musician learning an instrument. Practicing once a month will bring little progress. Daily practice gradually develops skill, confidence, and mastery. Spiritual cultivation follows the same principle. Small efforts repeated consistently are more powerful than occasional bursts of enthusiasm. Deep practice becomes a way of living rather than an activity reserved for special moments. The perfection of wisdom invites us to examine experience carefully. Instead of immediately reacting to emotions, we learn to observe them. Instead of accepting every thought as truth, we investigate its nature. Imagine watching clouds move across the sky. Some are dark, some bright, some large and some small, yet none remain for long. Thoughts and emotions behave in a similar way. Through deep observation, we begin to notice their changing and temporary nature. This direct investigation gradually weakens attachment and reveals insights that cannot be obtained through reasoning alone. One obstacle is impatience. People often expect immediate results and become discouraged when profound insight does not appear quickly. Yet even a bamboo plant spends years developing roots before significant growth becomes visible. Another obstacle is distraction. The mind constantly seeks entertainment, stimulation, and comfort. Deep practice requires the courage to remain present with reality, even when it is uncomfortable. A third obstacle is believing that intellectual understanding is enough. Knowing about wisdom is not the same as becoming wise. Just as reading about swimming cannot keep a person afloat in water, studying teachings alone cannot free the mind from suffering. As practice deepens, the mind becomes calmer and clearer. Reactions become less automatic. Attachments begin to loosen. Compassion naturally increases because we see that others struggle with the same fears and desires that affect us. Eventually, deep practice opens the door to the insight described in the Heart Sutra, seeing the emptiness of the five aggregates. This realization is not a theory, but a direct experience that transforms one's relationship with suffering. For this reason, the sutra emphasizes that Avalokiteshvara was practicing deeply. The profound wisdom that follows emerged from sustained and wholehearted cultivation. To practice deeply means to go beyond mere knowledge and engage fully with the path. It means examining experience carefully, cultivating mindfulness consistently, and applying wisdom in everyday life. Like a traveler who walks the road rather than simply studying a map, the practitioner discovers truth through direct experience. Avalokiteshvara's realization did not arise from intellectual study alone, but from profound and continuous practice. As we continue our exploration of the Heart Sutra, we will see how this deep cultivation leads to the extraordinary wisdom known as the perfection of wisdom.